Hello Stampers, it's Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers, and I have a special guest with me today.
Dave Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers.
Yeah, it's the Klompen Stampers' husband, we're going to call him.
The other half.
The other half. The better half?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what he thinks. We'll see how that goes. Anyhow, welcome so much. I have kind of a different kind of video for you guys today, and I hope you love it. I am starting a series. We're going to do this once a month, as long as he behaves, because we'll let him come back every month. And we're going to do a fun fold class for you. Each month, we're going to show 4 different fun folds. I have a shoebox full of templates, and I think I have 40...
A lot of shoe boxes.
No, like 40 or 45 different fun fold templates. Now, what's a template? It's basically, I made them with kind of ugly cardstock and some old designer series paper that I wasn't really using, and I wrote the measurements on them. So now when I go to stamp and I want to make a fun fold, I can go through these templates and find the one I want to make, and there's all my measurements. So the goal of these fun fold classes that we're going to do once a month is to set you up to make these templates, okay? We're not making a full-on card, even though I'm going to show you a sample of one, but I'm going to talk Dave through making the templates, and I know if he can make them...
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Exactly. And so I want you, after the video, to grab some cardstock, grab some designer series paper, or even if you want to use computer paper, it doesn't really matter, and make these templates so that you can use them in your card making as well. Now, I know some of you like written tutorials. I've heard it a million times. Guess what? We have one for you. Now, 2 ways to get the written tutorial. One, if you place an order with me using my host code by the 10th of the month, so by June 10th, I'll send you this tutorial for free. I also have it available in my tutorial store on my website. So if you don't want to place an order and you'd like to purchase it, you certainly can do that as well. But we're going to make sure that you don't really need the tutorial. You will be able to take this video, probably stop it and start it and stop it and start it to grab all the measurements and be able to make these templates yourself. So if you don't want the tutorial, you can most certainly do that. Now, I think, let's see, what else do I need to tell them? I don't know.
That's it. Let's get going.
Let's get going.
I'm going to see if I can make something.
I don't know how to do this with someone else in my video. So we're going to go ahead, flip the camera down, and I'm going to start talking Dave through these templates.
Okay, here we go.
Everybody cross their fingers that this works. Hang on one second. All right, you guys ready to get started? Are you ready to get started?
Let's go.
Okay, for the first one, we're starting with a half sheet of cardstock. So it is 8.5 by 5.5, just our normal cardstock.
That direction and that direction.
Correct.
Got it.
Now, you need to start by scoring it at 1 1/4.
1 1/4 inches.
Yes.
Right there.
No, 1 1/4.
Oh, that's only,
Oh,
only
we're
a
off
quarter.
to a great start.
Look at that. This side has numbers too.
1 1/4. And then
That's even better.
make sure you use the scoring blade, not the
That's this
cutting
one,
blade.
right?
That's correct. And yeah, with this one, I usually go up and down 3 or 4 times.
Got it.
Now, from this same edge, you need to score 4 1/4. So you're going to have to flip it around.
Oh, I got to go this way then.
Yeah.
Go out to the 4 1/4, which is
4
way out there.
There we go.
And I flip that and do it again, right?
Yep. Okay. Now
Okay,
you can go
got
ahead. We'll move this. Now you need to fold it in half. That 4 1/4 score is going to give you in half. And
With the lumpy thing up, right?
the lumpy thing up.
Got it. This one first?
Nope.
Oh,
the middle one first.
Middle one first.
Because if at all possible,
And I use a bone bender.
Yeah, bone folder.
Bone folder.
If possible, you want that little ridge to the inside of the fold. Sometimes it's not always going to be possible, but if it is, that's how it
Now
folds
it's
the
in half. I
best.
can't open it. There we go. What's
Now
next?
Now you need to turn it the other way, so our little flap is on the left, and you're going to back fold it.
That means the other direction, right?
Correct.
Look at this.
So we're starting with a real simple one here. Wait till we get to
I'm
number 2.
glad it's simple. There, bone
There
bender.
you go.
It's ready to go.
So there is your card base. You can see that's how our card's going to go. Now, for our template, we want to write measurements on there and add some designer series paper. So this is where I said we use kind of some ugly paper, stuff we're not going to use.
Whatever works.
But you need 2 pieces that are 1 inch by 5.5 inches. And they're
Kind
gonna,
of like camouflage.
yeah, that first one, there you go, is gonna go.
Like that, I bet.
Yep.
I could see that was going to fit there.
I know. So go ahead and use some adhesive and glue that down. Oh, Lordy, he's using green glue. Little bit, not too much, or it's gonna
Lots
goosh.
of green glue.
Ah, not so much.
Oops.
That's plenty.
There.
We don't want it to goosh.
Now I got to stick it on there.
Yep, don't get adhesive in your fingers.
I always get adhesive on my fingers. How do you put it in the right spot then?
Well, that's one of the beauties of the green glue. It kind of
Oh, it moves a
it
little.
moves a little bit.
Well, now it's in the right spot.
There you go. Okay.
Good.
Now the other one, which is the same size, 1 by 5.5, is going to go way out on that right edge. But you want to
Like
make
right there?
sure you have a little bit of a border showing. Yep.
On both of them like that.
Yeah. So it looks like that.
Same
left
green
one.
glue.
Same green glue.
Oops, that's too much.
I
I know
know.
that. There, I put too much down there so it matches.
Oh, you're going to be gushing. See, most people have a love-hate relationship with this adhesive. I love it,
So do I then.
but only if you don't put too much. There you go.
Look at that.
Look at that.
It's even straight.
Now we have 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And one is going to go right here on the front. So do that one first.
Green glued also, right? Mm-hmm. I'm getting good at this. Whoosh, whoosh. Is that better?
That's better.
Look at that. Just takes a little practice.
Now, a lot of this designer series, don't make sure you get underneath your flap.
That's a good idea.
May not coordinate on these because again, we're just using old stuff because this is our template so that when we go to craft, we can just use our templates and see how we have all the measurements so we know how to make a fun fold card. Now open it up.
And I bet this goes inside it someplace.
Yep. So this one's going to go
Oh,
right
there.
there.
Okay, then I got to open that up so I don't squish it weird.
And just
Watch
go
this.
shoot, shoot,
Shoot, shoot, shoot, shoot, shoot, shoot, shoot, shoot.
shoot. Okay, that's
Dot.
plenty.
Where'd this one go again? Right in here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I can handle that.
Okay, and then the final piece is for the
Oh.
inside. That's 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And that's where you can stamp your greeting on the inside or stamp it pretty. So,
Or if it's a birthday card, you can write, how old are you? Hey, how come it stopped coming out? What'd I do?
what are you doing to it?
I don't know. Ooh, that's way too much.
Did you turn that thing? You're not supposed to turn it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to turn that. That's obvious. Makes it come out way different than before.
What did you do? Alrighty.
There, without a goosh.
Okay. So
Is that done?
that is done. So that is fun.
That's like a total
fold.
template I just made.
Exactly.
Check that
just
out.
For kicks, I'll show our friends how here was the original one that I made, and you can see again how I wrote on there all of my sizes. So when you go to make these, oh, you got too much on there. When you go to make these templates, again, doesn't matter what the cardstock is, but write your sizes so you'll be ready to go when you want to create. Now, do you want to see a completed card using this template?
Yes.
I knew you did. So here is one that I used.
Oh, I didn't make a flower.
Well, you're not doing all these parts.
Oh.
So this is one where I use the template, and you can see here's our designer series paper and our inside piece. And then with this one, you can put whatever you want for the focal point in the center. And the kind of a little trick here is make sure when you adhere this piece down, it's only on that flap so that when it opens, you know, we're not glued down on the edges. But there's a sample of using this fun fold. Now this one and all the samples that I'm going to show are part of that tutorial where I actually give step-by-step instructions for stamping them and everything else. But on the video here, we're focusing on making the templates. You ready for number 2?
Ready for number 2.
All right.
Let's do this thing.
Let's get your cutter back.
There we go. I like my
in, or
cutter.
your scorer.
Scorer machine.
Now this one's gonna, I should have saved this one for last. This is gonna be the tricky one.
Oh, good. I'm ready.
I know. Okay, we are starting with a 5.5 by 11 piece of cardstock.
Bigger.
So it's bigger. Now we are going to score, and we're going to start from this
Ooh.
left-hand side, and we're going to score at 1 3/4.
1 3/4 again.
Yeah, you're going to want to go this way. So come up.
1 3/4. That works.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay. Because we're going to keep moving it. Now 3.5, so just slide it through to 3.5.
3.5. It's like right there.
Okay,
Now
keep
we're gonna move it
moving
again.
it to 5.25.
5.25. That's right there.
And then 7.
7, of course.
Lots of scoring here.
That's a lot of scoring. Do I get to bend it all too then?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. I like that part.
But first, you get to score one more piece. So give
Oh,
me that.
besides this one.
Yeah, besides that
Okay.
one. So here we have a 3x6.
A littler piece.
And that needs to be scored at 3.
That's it. Just one
Just
spot.
one score. That one's easy
Yes, I
peasy.
can handle that by myself.
I know.
Here we go.
Okay, let's get this out of the way. We'll let you fold that one in half first.
This one?
Yeah, I think you can do that
With
one.
a lump inside, right?
Uh-huh.
Lump inside.
Inside.
Yep.
And then always use the bone folder to get nice and crisp.
I always do.
Okay.
Folded.
Now with this one, you can see, and I don't know if they can see on video, here's all the score lines. You're going to start with this one right here and fold this whole front over.
And here are the lumps.
Okay.
Lumps up.
Lumps up. There we go. So
What am I?
we're going to fold it this way.
This one first?
Yep, that one first. And now we're going to do like an accordion fold.
We're going to have to because the lumps are
So,
down now. So
I
I
know.
get this one?
Yep. So this is where sometimes,
Oh, yeah. This is tricky.
but it's just going back and forth like an accordion.
But I got it.
Look at that.
I know what I'm doing.
I know. You're going to be an expert in no time.
Nothing to this.
And then one more.
Going that way. Check that out.
There
It
you
is
go.
like a real bone, isn't it?
It
It's kind of
is.
cool.
Okay, now we're going to go to our designer series paper.
It's like an accordion that does music.
Okay, so your first 4 pieces of designer series paper are all cut 1.5 by 5.25. And those are going to go on all your little accordion folds, all on the inside. Yep.
And one over here?
Nope, there's 4. So just put those
Oh, yeah,
4
just
on.
4. Okay.
Here, you know what? I'll help you. How's that?
That's always nice when you help.
Except my green glue is not working. Here,
You
we'll
can
do
borrow
that
mine. Oops. That thing sure slid, didn't it?
because you're putting too much on. We should do a disclaimer on green glue here. There
I like
you
green
go.
glue.
Again, these colors don't match, but remember, we're just making
Just
a
a
template.
template, because I am allowed to make templates. Do not touch the cards.
Then we have our inside piece, you know, where we're going to write our message. It's getting a little sloppy on my cutting. That one is 3 3/4 by 5
goes there?
1/4. Did that fit? Double check that. I think so. Make sure
That
you cut
fits
it
really
right.
nice.
Oh yeah, that one fits
You
there.
always get it right. There's never a question in my mind. Oops.
Oh
that
my-
was a blurb.
Okay, no, sorry, we're not going to use this. We're going to pause the video, friends. Okay, we're back, and I'm going to start putting the adhesive on for you and let you stick it down. There you go.
That was better.
Yeah. Can't trust you, you know. Okay, now you're going to take our little card that we have here.
Oh, yeah.
And this one is actually going to seem kind of backwards. So we're going to have our fold over there on the right. And we're going to put this piece of white, which is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4
Right on this, I bet.
on the front side.
On the backwards front side.
And then you can open it up and you can put this, nope, I'm sorry, open it that way. And this is going to go on that other panel.
Okay, this is tricky.
I know. And then the tricky part's going to come putting it together.
I'm doing a lot of thinking here.
I know. You know, that engineer brain of yours should be able to do this. Okay, so we're going to come back to our original that has adhesive all over the place. We're going to fold it up. Okay, this is how that card folds, and it's going to open. This little guy is going to go like
Oh, that makes
so.
sense.
So we're going to...
Then he's going to open up when you open it.
Yeah. So the easiest way to do this is to kind of vision. This one's going to go here. So we're going to make sure we put just a little bit on there. And I think I'm going to do this for you.
I want to try.
I'll let you do the
I'll
back.
push it.
There we go.
I can do that.
So that's stuck on there. Then this one is going to be stuck in here, but we need to make sure everything closes. So we're going to keep this folded up. So those of you, when you go to make this template, make sure you follow how we're adhering it together to make sure that gets
That
in
will
the
make
right
a
spot.
big difference.
It will.
Because this way it works.
Yeah, there you go.
Every time.
So now our fun fold card looks like this, and it opens up like that.
It's kind of a funny fold, isn't it?
So you'll see when I show you the finished one in a second how the reason I put white here is because that's how my focal point is going to go on it. You certainly could put designer series paper here. Even all of the layers with these designer series papers, you could leave them blank, or you could stamp on the card base, or you could put stamp pieces there. There's no rules. Just remember, this is just our template. So there's template number 2. And let me show our teacup one. So you can see here, I put the white piece on there. Now you could, again, layer that however you want. And then when we open it up, there's all our designer series paper and our stamped piece on the inside. So isn't that a fun fold? So there's
That's
number 2.
That's prettier than this one.
Well, remember, this is for our
there's a template.
shoebox.
Yeah, one of our shoe boxes.
Okay, let's bring in our cutter again. And are we ready for number 3?
I know I am.
Okay, if you are, I guess I am too. So we're back to our normal size.
Normal size, whatever that was.
So that one is 8.5 by 5.5.
Yep.
And you're going to score this one at, what are we scoring at here? 1.5.
1.5, so I can go here.
Yep, go up to 1.5.
Drop it on my fingers.
And then
score
5 3/4.
Ooh, way out there.
Way out there.
Way out there. Got it.
Okay. Now this one, those pieces are going to fold to the inside.
This way.
Yep.
Yep.
So bring both of them to the inside. This is kind of, some people like to call this a gatefold, but usually you have the opening in the middle. This one's is kind of offset there a little bit.
Oops, missed it. There we go.
Okay, you ready for your designer series paper? I'm going to do the green glue. So the first piece is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4.
I bet it goes right here.
Yeah, you're getting good.
See, I've done these things before.
I know.
Starting to know what I'm doing.
And then a 2.5.
I bet it goes way over here.
No. Gotta close it. Ugh.
Oh, gotta close it. That wasn't good, was it?
That goes on the front.
There, that worked.
And
Much
then
better.
here's a piece for the inside.
That's the inside. I knew something was
There we
going to go on the inside.
And here, we didn't write on that one, so I'll write on it after you stick it down. Whenever I use colored cardstock, I always like to put a piece of white or vanilla on the inside. So there is kind of the base of our fun fold. Now you could, and with most of these fun folds, you could actually make your card this way, or you could go that way, but we're gonna kind of do the traditional way of sew. And then you can add whatever kind of layer you want there on the front. So here's our completed one. So you can see our 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, 2.5 by 5 1/4. Open it up. There's our inside with our pretty stamp greeting. But this piece here, I just did a square so that I could layer my teacups on it. This could be a circle. It could be any size layer depending on what kind of images you're using. That's just, I like to call that the focal point. And when you're doing this, again, you got to make sure your adhesive is only over on the flap here. So, you know, when you put that on, you don't want to glue it.
That's the only way I would do it.
I know, right? So there is number 3. So that is, and this one, we didn't put that front piece on the template because that's really open to
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. So there is number 3. Okay, let's do number 4 here. Now, this time we went to a smaller piece. So our base on this one is 7 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's a little bit shorter. And we're going to score at 3.
At 3.
You're getting good at the scoring stuff.
I'm liking the scoring stuff. I'm finally doing something right.
Okay, take
That's
that one
it?
away. And
Well,
then
that was a quick one.
I have this piece that's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and you're going to score it at 1.
Ooh, I'll do it on that side.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier on that side. Okay,
There.
take that away. Now, this here, we're going to, let's see, we're going to fold it that way with your bone folder. Okay, and then fold your little flap on that one. You know what? I'm going to write on here so that everybody can see this. This is 7 1/4 times 5 1/2. And then we scored it at 3.
What about that one?
This one was 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and we scored it at 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to piece these together. So we're going to stick that one right on there. So when you do this, you want to make sure, let's see, I think maybe I'm going to do it. Otherwise it's going to get on my table. Kind of eyeball it up and down, and then that fold line you want right out there to the edge. So you can kind of slide it. There we go.
Dry glue, dry. There.
Okay, so there's that one. Designer series paper. I bet you can figure out where these go. We have 3 by 4 and 2 3/4 by 5 1/4.
You bet I can figure out where it goes?
I'm guessing you can. Where do you think that one's gonna go?
Probably on the front.
Was that a good enough hint?
I think so.
And then this one.
This one is still up in the air.
Okay, now fold that side.
Oh, I bet it's on that thing.
There you go.
It's kind of that size.
Now I know we use the same paper here, but when you see the finished one, you'll see I use 2 different prints because then they contrast each other. And then we can open it up, and we have a piece for the inside that is 4 by 5 1/4.
That just goes right in here?
That goes right in there.
Oh, right over that other piece too.
Yeah. So
oh,
now,
yeah, that's fine. That works.
let's see. Some of these I didn't label for them. There we go. So there is our template.
Template number 4.
Number 4. Here is our finished one. So you can see here where I use different designer series papers, so you get a nice contrast. And then the front of this, just like all the other cards, you decorate it depending on what stamps and inks and dyes and everything you're using. And then we open it up and we always stamp the inside. So there's number 4. So let's bring these all back in here.
Custom made by me.
Yeah. Do you want to autograph them?
Doesn't get no better than this, I can tell you that.
So there are our 4 templates for our first of our Fun Fold card classes. Now we gave you all the measurements, and as Dave scored them, I gave him the scoring lines. So you can easily take this video, start it, stop it, and make these templates yourself. Now let's bring in, because I know these are way prettier. Let's look at these cards again.
Yeah, it sure looks a lot better than what I made.
I know. I had fun playing with the Tea Boutique, Teacup Boutique, something like that. I don't know all the names of all the new products, but you can see how I used the designer series paper, the teacup, and made all 4 of those cards as fun folds. So the tutorial, remember we talked at the very beginning about the tutorial. What I did on that is it has pictures of each one of the cards along with the cutting, the scoring, and then step-by-step instructions for making these cards. The tutorial, I will, anybody that places an order of at least $50 by June 10th, we'll send that to you. We'll email that to you after June 10th for a free download. Or I also have that available on my website in the tutorial store. Now, speaking of my website, there is a link in the video description that will take you over to the blog post, and that will have pictures of these cards so that you can come back and look at these, and it'll also explain again how you can get the tutorial, and it'll have a link to the tutorial store. So I think we got all the information over on that blog post for you. Anything else you want to share there, Mr. Dave?
Nope, that is everything I know about this.
All right, what do you think? How did he do? Show him some love if he did okay. Even if he didn't do okay, show him some love.
I did my best. I got it done.
He loves to read the
I got
YouTube
it done.
comments. So I hope you enjoyed our first Fun Fold class. Like I said, we're going to do this every month. If you guys want him to come back, make sure
I'll come back, but no more than once a
Well,
month.
we got to make sure they want you back.
Oh,
so they
yeah.
better leave comments if
Please
they want
vote.
him back. Because otherwise you'll get just me. But like I said, I have about 40 different templates that I want to show you how to make. And it's great. Once you have all of these templates and you just put them in a shoebox, grab them all here. And then when you go to create, you can just flip through all those different cards and you've got all the measurements and everything on them. So I hope you make these templates. That's the whole reason I made him make them.
And that's why I'm making them, because anybody can.
And again, they're designed so that you can use any stamps, ink, and paper. But I like the one, I hope you like the ones that I use. And what I hope to do is every month we're going to show 4 different ones.
Yep.
So they can keep increasing their collection of templates. And then I'll show you finished ones, and I'll use different stamps each time so you don't get bored of the teacup one. So thank you so much for tuning in. And again, remember, down in the video description is a link to take you to the blog post where we'll have pictures of these as well as all the information for getting the tutorial if you'd like that as well. So I think that's it for this time.
So did I get to say it?
You can say it.
Okay, stampers, have a stamp happy day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.